Hey friends, welcome to Java to Code. In the previous video, we have seen that how to find factorial using recursion. Okay, so in the today's video, we are going to discuss how to find factorial using recursion and big integer. If you have not watched the previous video, please watch that video because I am going to discuss how that previous method is fail for the taking the large number of input to find the factorial. Okay, so let's get started with the today's video. Okay, so before going to start, I would like to talk on what is the disadvantages of previous method. So you can see we have here the program fact recursion, and in this method, let me just run this and see what is the answer. So if I take the 5, then we are going to get the output factorial of 5 is 120. But what if I put here 30? So 30 factorial of 30 is not this, right? It is something the big value, but it is going to provide you the wrong answer. Okay, so we need to resolve this issue. So we need to start with the recursion with big integer. So let's get started. Okay, so create a class, create a new and create your class. My class name is recursion big integer, and create a main class and finish it. So let me just comment it properly. Factorial using recursion with big integer. Okay, first of all we need to take the input from user, or you can do manually. I will take the input from user. Scanner sc is equals to new scanner system dot in. Okay, let me just import it. Okay. So first of all you need to take int n equal to sc dot next int. Okay, and we are going to use here recursion, so we need to use one function. Okay, my function name is fact. I have the value inside, argument is n. Let me just create this method. Okay, now we are going to use big integer. So if you have not understand what is big integer, so watch my previous video, you will get a better understanding what is big integer and why we are learning. Okay, so let's start with the coding. If n, so Eclipse generally provide the suggestion for the methods. Okay, but n dot, it is not providing any suggestions. So why it is like this? Because n is the data type is int, but we need big integer. So let me just change it here. Okay, so if we do like this, big integer. Okay, and here also big integer. Okay, but why we have done this? Because we need a method to equate this big integer, because big integer is not provide you the operator, it is actually provide you the method in which we need to equal. Okay, so let me do. Okay, so n dot. Okay, so here also we need to use big integer because n is having data type big integer class. Okay, and we are also returning the big integer value. Okay, so you can see now n is going to provide you the equals method in which we can do the equating the value of big integer. So big integer having big integer dot 1. Okay, we actually not used to write here directly 1. Big integer having some restrictions. Okay, big integer dot 1 we need to use it. Okay, or what else we have the equals big integer dot 0. Okay, so you already know the concept of factorial. If n equal to 1 or 0, factorial is always 1. Okay, so we need to return here 1, but we can't write like this. Okay, it will give you the error. You can see we have here error, so we need to use here big integer dot 1. Okay, so this is the one part, but if it is else it is not 1 or not a 0, then what we need to do? Simple, n into n minus 1. We need to use here recursion, so we know already what is formula for factorial, n into n minus 1. So how can we do with the big integer? Simple, n dot, we have the function called multiply. Okay, and we need to use n into fact of n minus 1. So use fact, and we need to do the n minus 1, so use n dot, we have here a method which is subtract. Okay, and we need a 1, so in the big integer we are going to use big integer dot 1. Okay, so this is the program. Okay, and we need to save the return value of a big integer in the one variable. So result is the variable having the integer. Okay, so just print the value and let's see whether we got the output or not. So I'm copying from here and printing. Okay, so let me just run it and see we have got the output or not. So if I put 30, you can see factorial of 30 is this. Okay, so we got the output, but you can see the problem with this method is we actually writing this much of code. Okay, as a programmer we always prefer to use small code, right? So we can do a small coding also with the help of ternary operating in the one line. Okay, but we need to do the little bit changes. Okay, let's do it. So just comment here and do with the return. Okay, and n equal to 0. Okay, or n equal to 1. You can see it is actually giving you the error. Okay, it is in incompatible operand type big integer and int. So we need to resolve this, so that we need to change the data type of n. Okay, so take the n. Okay, take the n as a primitive data type int. Okay, because it is actually providing the result as a big integer, not a, we are taking the integer value, right? So we did not write a big integer for the n. So let's take int. Okay, and you can see n, if it is n equal to 0 or 1, then we need to return 1. So big integer dot 1. Else what we need to do? N into n minus 1. Okay, same thing, big integer dot, okay, value of, what we need to take a value. Okay, we take a value of n and n into fact of n minus 1. Okay, we need to do the multiplication with what? Fact of n minus 1. Okay, simple. So let me just run it and see whether we got the output or not. So let me just 13. So you can see the factorial of 13 is 6222. Okay, and let me just run the 30. You can see we got the same output. We can do this two method. Okay, so I hope you like this video, and if you like this video, please like this video and click to the bell icon so that you will get the